Hello ducklings, hello chicks. It's our story today and this one is called Max and the Doglins. Now it's by a lady called Amanda Montgomery Higham, and it looks a little bit scary on the cover, doesn't it? It's not scary, it's just this dog here has made a mistake and is feeling very guilty. So let's read it and find out what happens. Make sure you're sitting comfortably and I'll begin. Max the dog wandered around the farmyard. He was bored and felt like something to eat. He had just noticed a tasty little nibble when Beryl the hen came racing out of the hen house. She was making a terrible din. Max watched her run off. I wonder what the matter is, he thought. He crept up to the hen house to see. Nestling in the straw was a big, fresh, brown egg. Max licked his lips and wondered what it would taste like. His mouth began to water. Without thinking, he pushed his head into the hen house and gave the shell a big lick. Before he could stop himself, he snatched the egg and crunched it all up and gulped it down in one. Yum! The slimy white and gooey yellow tasted just delicious. Max quickly ran away and did not tell anyone what he'd done. The very next day, while Beryl was in the farmyard, he sneaked back to the hen house and gobbled up another egg. And so it went on day after day. Poor Beryl was very puzzled. She wondered what was happening to her precious eggs and asked the other animals to help her look for them. One night, Max didn't feel at all well. He had a terrible tummy ache, but there was something else troubling him, something that he couldn't quite put his paw on. He curled up on his blanket and tried to go to sleep. Outside, the rain poured down and the thunder rumbled and boomed across the sky. Max cowered in his bed. He was sure that he could see strange shadows dancing along the walls, so he closed his eyes tight. Suddenly, amid a loud crack of thunder, the kitchen door burst open. There in the doorway stood three shadowy creatures. Max's heart was racing. He wanted to howl for help, but his jaws felt as though they were glued together. He wanted to run away, but his legs had turned to jelly. Who are you? He finally managed to splutter. Doglins, replied one of the creatures. That's who. He sat down on a corner of Max's bed and slid his arm around Max's trembling shoulder. His claws looked very long and very sharp. We've come to live with you, he said, here on the farm. But you can't, cried Max. There's only room for one dog here, and that's me. Well, sneered the other Doglins, if you're not going to agree, we'll tell the farmer your naughty secret. We've come to sleep on your comfy bed. No, said Max, that's mine. Not any more, replied the Doglins. We come to eat your meat. No, said Max, that's mine. Not any more, replied the Doglins. We've come to have our heads patted and to have all your doggy treats. No, said Max, they're mine. Not any more, replied the Doglins. We've come to go for nice long walks wearing your collar and your leash. No, said Max, they're mine. Not any more, replied the Doglins. But most of all, they continued, we've come to steal lots of delicious eggs from that silly hen. Hooray! Steal eggs, they cried. No, shouted Max, those are Beryl's. Then why have you been stealing them? Cried the Doglins. Max went very quiet for a moment. It's true, he thought. I did steal Beryl's eggs. That was wrong, and now I have to put it right. Max bared his teeth and the doglins stopped their noise. All of a sudden, they didn't look so frightening. You can't bully me, snarled Max. It was wrong to steal Beryl's eggs, but I won't let you come here and do the same. You don't scare me anymore. Be on your way. At once, a peculiar thing happened. The doglins started shrinking. Smaller and smaller they became until each was the size of an egg. Just at that moment, a gust of wind blew through the open door. It swept them up and carried them far away into the night. Early the next morning, Max went straight to the hen house. Of course I forgive you, chuckled Beryl, because you've told the truth and said that you're sorry. She stroked his nose with her wing to show that she meant it. And look, she continued, this latest egg is a beauty. I can't wait for it to hatch. From then on, Max guarded the hen house each and every day, just in case any doglins should ever decide that they'd like to come and stay. Oh, I'm really glad that Max the dog put everything right at the end of that story, children. I can remember the first time I read that, I was a bit worried about these characters, but actually, they were just his guilty conscience, weren't they? So I hope you enjoyed that, and I look forward to reading you some more stories next week. So until then, have a lovely weekend. Bye.